On the news tonight, state government says it is working towards checking flooding in Ika South and Ika Northeast. Delta State Core Agency Amendment Bill passes second reading. President Bola Tinubu institutionalizes Nigeria Police Force Day. And abroad, U.S. President to hold talk with Iran on nuclear deal. Hello there, good evening, and welcome to Delta Television Main News. I am Tony Elwaka. The state government has said it is working towards checking flooding in Boji-Boji-Owa and Abo in Ika South and Ika Northeast local government areas. Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Mr. Charles Niagu, said that this when he and the State Commissioner for Environment, Mr. Ejiro Jamani, inspected failed portions of the Lagos-Asaba Road, Abo, where valuables were lost to flood. Ejime Udume reports.
Also inspected by the commissioners was ongoing work on Azike Avenue and DDPA Housing Estate Road, Boji-Boji-Owa. Mr. Niago said the flooding was traceable to residents who dumped refuse into the drains, warning that violators will face the full weight of the law.
Because coming from the Oweke axis, we could see that a whole lot of water coming from that corridor is not finding its way to the side we call as Zwabo. That is the other side. If you are going up from here, the left side is always free, while the right is heavily flooded. So, but by the time you are able to redistribute the water for the two drains, as the drain on the left and the drain on the right, to have a fair share, you will discover that the amount of water that will be left on the road will be minimal.
The Commissioner for Environment, Mr. Ejiro Jamani, said the visit was to get an on-the-spot information on the likely causes of the flood that submerged some houses, adding that government would take steps to clear the drains for free flow of water when it rained.
The adjoining streets, they've turned the adjoining street drain to a dump site. So what we'll do, we'll go back, strategize, and come back to see how we can do what we call desiccation, so that the water can come straight from the adjoining streets to the main drain, so that the main drain will take it straight to the natural water settlement.
Mr. Niago inspected the old Abraka Owanta Road and drainage, the 10 kilometers Owalero Otulupo Road and Kingdom Road Umunede. He had earlier inspected the Isila Zagba Otulu Road that connects Aniocha South and Aniocha North local government areas. The Works Commissioner said the stormwater project on Abraka Road, Boji-Boji-Owa, was to control flood, stressing that building of roads without drains was counterproductive. Mr. Niago reminded residents of the state of the need to use the whistle-blowing line to report erring contractors to avert execution of substandard jobs. At the Isela Zagba Otulu Road project, Mr. Niago expressed worry at the slow pace of work and told the contractor to expedite action as the job was billed for inauguration next month. Some of the residents thanked Governor Sheriff Oboriwori for the project and appealed to the contractors to stick to the contractual agreements.
Let them to be fast, please. I know they are doing their work, but let them to be fast more than this. Number one, we need them more material and more workers.
We appreciate to the government. Government is trying the best. Delta State government is working. We are praying for the progress and success for the Delta State government.
Mr. Anyango was conducted around the projects by the representative of the contracting firms. Ejime Uduime reporting.
The Delta State Core Agency Amendment Bill was read today the second time on the floor of the State House of Assembly. The state legislature.
The bill's lead sponsor and member representing Aniocha South constituency, Honorable Isaac Amuzia, highlighted its merit, saying it would enhance the agency's effectiveness and promote accountability in community policing in the state. Honorable Angusia said the bill will also expand the agency's functions and collaborations with communities. He noted that security was a fundamental requirement in any society aspiring to give the best to its citizens. Honorable Angusia said there was an urgent need for all hands to be decked to check insecurity in the state. Lawmakers who spoke in favor of the bill emphasized that security should be everybody's business in the interest of states' economic growth.
Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, these amendments are crucial in addressing the current security challenges in our state. By strengthening the agency's functions of accountability and structure, we can enhance the safety and security of our citizens. Mr. Speaker, the need for the speedy passage of this bill cannot be overemphasized. Arising from the security challenges we have today in Delta State, this is the solution that we need to tame crime. This is the solution that we need to check insecurity in Delta State as a whole.
The Speaker, the Right Honourable Emomotimi Gwon, then referred the bill to the House Committees on Special Bills and Peace and Security to report back on May 20. The House had earlier screened and confirmed the appointment of Mr. Buba Ena as Secretary Bomadi Local Government during the Committee of the Whole. Favor Okafo reporting.
Youths in the state have been encouraged to take advantage of the gainful employment and scholarships offered by the Nigerian Army by enrolling in the 89th regular recruitment exercise for trade and non-tradesmen and women. The Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Kingsley Emu, met the call yesterday at a visit by the sensitization team from the Army Headquarters Abuja, led by Brigadier General Wino Ndize. Psalms Okojite reports.
Says statistics of Delta's enrollment in the Nigerian Army indicated that the state had made steady progress in that regard, adding that the state will refocus sensitization efforts to improve pre-qualification of enrollees. It says strong synergy had been built with traditional rulers, religious organizations, and local government to improve sensitization in order to capture more youth and meet the required quota allocated in the state. The SIG also expressed the state's commitment to improving the enrollment platform by providing free transportation to shortlisted candidates from all 3 senatorial districts for the screening exercise.
We're not very happy about the growth trajectory. We want to improve on the quality of the outcome, which is what we're looking at now. You know, if we presented a 474 and we have a 200 supposed quota, and we make 200, then we need to spend a lot of time. Yeah, so we need to emphasize the quality.
The Nigerian Army Headquarters representatives, led by Brigadier General Witu Zide, expressed the mandate of the present head of the Army Administration, Major General Lawrence Fijoku, an indigene of the state, to reawaken the need for the state to meet its required quota of enrollees. He clarified that the Army offers scholarship education, gainful employment free of marginalization in recruitment and progression through the ranks. Brigadier General Zindi encouraged state governments, traditional rulers, and stakeholders to take cognizance of their contributions to employment, peace, security, and national development as they encourage their youth to enroll in the Army. He noted that Delta State had consecutively failed to produce the required quotas of enrollees into the Army, saying that with a basic qualification of secondary school certificate, the door of continuous education, national and international training was open in the field of medicine, nursing, engineering, and music, among others.
The message is clear, and what is clear about the message, that we are not pushing out our sons and our daughters to come and be like us. And then the chief of officer carefully selected us. Okay, you're from that area. Go and talk to your people. If not for anything, somebody will see you in uniform and they will be happy that they are seen there. If it is as bad as people think or say, I won't be here with you.
Also speaking, the commander of the 63 Brigade Asaba, Brigadier General Ugoshiku Unashiku, warned against pipeline vandalism, oil bunkering, armed robbery, and kidnapping, while asking youth to engage in productive activities and make use of the opportunity of gainful employment in the Nigerian army.
For us not to waste the life of our youth when they are trying to pay pipeline, that business is not paying again. You are in this stage, you see, say we don't close any gap. Yes. So no career in pipeline breaking again. And then kidnapping. We are, there's a who's here, you see what's happening in your area. We are closing the gap. So no career safe for kidnapping and armed robbery. Yes. So let them go for something legal and enduring.
The visit had in attendance top government functionaries and traditional rulers. Registration for the Nigerian Army recruitment exercise, which began on March 31st, will end on May 17th. Sams Ohojite reporting.
President Bola Tinubu has announced the institutionalization of April 7 every year as National Police Day to honor fallen heroes of the Nigeria Police Force and acknowledge the heroics of its personnel. President Tinubu said this during the maiden edition of the National Police Day at the Eagle Square in Abuja. The president, who was represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, emphasized his administration's resolve to engender a force that is well-trained, well-motivated, and well-equipped with modern tools with technology to effectively combat crime in Nigeria. He said it had become necessary to ensure that the nation's security forces were constantly steps ahead of those who threaten the peace, welfare, and prosperity of the nation. The Chief Justice of Nigeria CJN, Justice Kudirat Kekeredun, has cautioned judicial officers against risk associated with data breaches, cyber threats, and online systems as they embrace digitalization. Justice Kekeredun gave the advice at the opening of this year's National Workshop on Information and Communication Technology held at the National Judicial Institute in Abuja. The workshop was themed the digital evolution of judicial systems, technology, access, and efficiency. The CJN, represented by the Administrator, National Judicial Institute, Justice Salisu Garuba, in view of the fact the judiciary handles cases, files, personal information, and classified government data, it remains a prime target for cyber attacks. She stressed the importance of protecting the integrity of court records and cautioned that any compromise could have far-reaching legal and national security implications. The National Health Insurance Authority, NHIA, has implemented a new measure aimed at reducing delays in accessing healthcare services and enhancing patient care under the health insurance scheme. In a statement, the NHIA said the authorization of care and issuance of authorization codes by health management organizations would no longer exceed 1 hour from the time of request by providers, and healthcare facilities are to promptly submit requests for authorization codes to HMOs to mitigate service access delays to enrollees. The National Health Insurance Act of 2022, signed into law on May 19, 2021, replaced the 1999 National Health Insurance Scheme Act. Its primary aim is to regulate and integrate health insurance schemes, ensuring that every Nigerian has mandatory health coverage while catering to vulnerable groups. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has debunked online media reports that Nigeria has been included in a list of 14 countries facing an entry ban into Saudi Arabia starting April 13. In a statement, the ministry clarified that the claims were false, with Saudi Arabian authorities also confirming that no such entry ban exists. The statement noted that the Saudi Arabian Tourism Center stated that the viral memo, which suggested that several countries, including Nigeria, Egypt, India, and Pakistan, would face visa restrictions was untrue. According to the ministry, the only restriction in the places applies to holders of tourist visas during Hajj season. The state government has banned all unauthorized hosting or staging of trade fairs, exhibitions in the state. A government statement says the indiscriminate hosting of trade fairs and exhibitions in the state by persons masquerading as experts, whose actions not only end up defrauding unsuspecting members of the public, but also negatively affects the state economy. The statement explained that the Delta State Ministry of Trade and Investment is the body saddled with regulating the hosting of staging of trade fairs or exhibitions, among other functions in the state, warning that the statement would not tolerate fraudulent practice under the guise of participating in unauthorized events. It encouraged government ministries, departments and agencies, private organizations and individuals wishing to host, stage, or any form of trade fair or exhibitions to obtain approval by way of official registration with the Ministry of Trade and Investment before any such event can take place in the state to avoid sanctions. The Delta State Primary Health Care Development Agency, in collaboration with its development partners, will implement the second round of the Big Catch-Up from Friday 11th April to Thursday 17th April in Ughelli North, Ughelli South, Warri South, Isoko South, Burutu, Uwe, Ndoko West and Sapele local government areas. A government statement signed by the State Director of Public Communication and functioning Permanent Secretary in the State Ministry of Information, Mrs. Teresa Oliko, explained that a Big Catch-Up is a routine immunization intensification activity aimed at reaching zero-dose children 59 months and below and administering missed antigens, adding that it is also aimed at improving the proportion of children vaccinated against vaccine-preventable diseases and reaching the underserved population. The statement said health workers would be in strategic places, including markets, schools, churches, mosques, playgrounds, and healthcare centers to vaccinate eligible children. It stressed that the vaccines are free for stakeholders to cooperate with designated health workers to make the exercise a success. Fear of a rabies outbreak has gripped parts of Adamawa State following a disturbing spike in dog bites across several communities. Consequently, health officials have raised an alarm of serious public health concerns. Director of Veterinary Services and Epidemiologist in the State Ministry of Livestock and Aquaculture, Dr. Bartolomeo Naileas, confirmed the death of 3 people last year from rabies-related cases. He stressed that the state is currently battling sporadic and aggressive canine attacks. The State Commissioner for Livestock and Aquaculture, Mr. Tijani Masha, also confirmed an outbreak of rabies last week, emphasizing that cats are particularly affected. The State Committee for Youth Enlistment into Military and Paramilitary Services has enjoined eligible Deltans to apply for the Nigerian Defense Academy NDA 77th regular course admission. A statement released by the Delta State Bureau for Orientation and Communications, Governor's Office Asaba, says interested Deltans are to apply at www.ndaapplications.net by clicking the Purchase Access code to fill in details on the payment of 7,000 Naira to obtain order ID and remitter retrieval conference code. The statement said the online application is open to male and female candidates of Delta State origin and members of the public. Candidates must have a minimum of 5 credits in relevant subjects including English, mathematics in GCE or SSCE or NECO certificate must apply in the 2025 Joint Admissions Matriculation Examination UTME and must choose NDA as first choice of institution. They must have a UTME score of 210 points for engineering and 180 points for arts, social sciences, and science courses. The statement added that the NDA screening test for candidates of Delta State origin holds on Saturday, 24th May at the Army Day Secondary School, Nigerian Army School of Supply and Transport, NASST, Obowo, Benin City, Edo State. It enjoined members of the public to note that candidates admitted into the NDA for the 77 regular course will undergo military and academic training as officer cadet for a duration of 5 years, and on successful completion of the extensive training, graduates will earn an honors degree in a core discipline, that is, BSc, B English, BA on graduation, just as they will also earn presidential commission into the armed forces of Nigeria. You're watching Delta Television Main News. Still to come, U.S. President to hold talks with Iran on nuclear deal. Details on this story and more after this short break. Please stay with us.
If tanker wey carry fuel fall or pipe wey carry fuel for underground burst, wetin you go do? You go begin bath fuel put for your bucket, or you go run comot far for where the fire go soon come. Na only small time you get to take this wise decision. Waka comot, no, that one no dey enough. Shift, no, that one no dey enough. Stay there dey gist and take pictures with your phone. That na madness. Run, yes, run comot. Yes, your life depend on wetin you do. The fire go come at once and you no go fit control am. Why? Petrol dey catch fire easily. Why? Na just small spark go start big fire. So no stay there dey think. Run comot quick to save your life. No throway your life away because of
Public Enlightenment Office, Delta Broadcasting Service, Asaba.
To have you back. The United States President, Mr. Donald Trump, has said his country and Iran will hold direct talks over a possible nuclear deal on Saturday. President Trump disclosed this after a White House meeting with Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu, who had also previously raised the prospect of attacking Iran to stop it from acquiring nuclear weapons. The president did not provide further details about the talks, including how progressed they were or which officials had been involved. President Trump, who unilaterally pulled his country out of a previous deal with Iran during his first presidency, said discussions would be at high level. He warned that it would be a bad day for Iran if no agreement was reached. The meeting had also been confirmed by Iran's foreign minister, Mr. Abbas Arqawi, who said the talks would be indirect but could be as much an opportunity as a test. Mr. Arqawi also confirmed that Washington and Tehran will meet in Oman on April 12. The Ukrainian President, Mr. Vladimir Zelensky, has acknowledged for the first time that his troops are active in Russia's Belgorod region, which borders Ukraine. His comments also refer to Russia's Kursk region, where Ukraine still holds a small area after a major offensive last year. Moscow had since retaken most of the territory. Mr. Zelensky said the main objective was to protect Ukraine's Sumy and Kharkiv border regions and to ease the pressure on other parts of the vast front line, particularly in the eastern Donetsk region. Russia's military had last month reported Ukrainian attempt to cross over into the Belgorod region, but said such attacks had been rebuffed. The areas in question were only a short distance inside Russian territory. Let's join our business news desk for happenings in the business world.
The United States Trade Representative yesterday criticized Nigeria's import ban on 25 categories of goods, claiming that the restrictions limit market access for American exporters. This came shortly after President Donald Trump introduced tariffs on goods entering the U.S., with Nigeria facing a 14% duty. The U.S. Trade Representative highlighted the impact of Nigeria's import ban on various sectors, particularly agriculture, pharmaceuticals, beverages, and consumer goods. The restrictions affect items such as beef, pork, poultry, fruit juices, medicaments, and alcoholic beverages, which the U.S. sees as significant barriers to trade. The agency argues that these limitations reduce export opportunities for U.S. businesses and lead to loss of revenue. Meanwhile, the United States imported $643.1 million worth of goods from Nigeria in the first 2 months of 2025, just a month before the implementation of new tariffs by the Donald Trump administration. The tariffs, which take effect tomorrow, April 9, have raised concerns about their potential impact on Nigerian trade. However, oil and minerals are exempted from the new tariff regime, offering some relief to Nigeria's major export sectors. Data from the United States International Trade Commission revealed that Nigeria's imports on a custom basis for February 2025 stood at $286.3 million, a sharp decline from the $423.6 million recorded in the same month of 2024.
That's our news. Now to our thought for the day. The key to self-discipline and the road to success is to do what you are supposed to do, not what you feel like doing. To end the Delta Television main news, here are the highlights. The state government has said it is working towards checking flooding in Boji-Boji-Owa and Abo in Ika South and Ika Northeast local government areas. Commissioner of Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Mr. Charles Aniago, said this when he and the State Commissioner for Environment, Mr. Ejiro Jamani, inspected failed portions of the Lagos-Asaba Road, Abo, where valuables were lost to flood. The Delta State Core Agency Amendments Bill was read today, the second time, on the floor of the State House of Assembly. The state legislature also cleared and confirmed one Mr. Bobai Enai for appointment as Secretary